For decades, airlines have sold the image of flight attendants as the ultimate symbol of glamour and freedom. The polished uniforms, radiant smiles, and exotic destinations create a dream-like fantasy. To the outside world, it looks like the perfect life, flying from one adventure to another, exploring the globe for free, living a lifestyle most people only dream about. But the reality is very different. Beneath the glossy surface lies one of the most draining, exhausting, and misunderstood jobs on the planet. The illusion of freedom. At first glance, the job looks like it offers ultimate freedom. No desk, no office, no boss standing over your shoulder. The sky itself becomes the workplace. But freedom is an illusion. Flight attendants don't control their time. Airlines dictate their schedules, routes, and hours. A day can start at 3 a.m. or 11 p.m., with little warning. Shifts stretch into double digits, and rest days are inconsistent. The reality is not a free lifestyle but a chain of unpredictable workdays that leave no room for stability. Living out of a suitcase. For most people, home means comfort, stability, and belonging. For flight attendants, home is a suitcase. Every few days, they're in a new city, sleeping in another sterile hotel room, never long enough to settle in. Clothes for all climates are packed tight, toiletries squeezed between shoes, and snacks crammed in for survival. Over time, even the excitement of travel dulls. Landmarks blur together, and cities become just another stop before the next flight. The suitcase becomes the closest thing to permanence. The toll of jet lag. Jet lag is not a passing inconvenience, it's a constant reality. The human body isn't designed to cross time zones at the speed of a jet. A flight attendant's sleep cycle becomes permanently broken. One day, breakfast is eaten at 5 a.m. in Tokyo. The next, dinner is forced at midnight in New York. The body loses its rhythm, the brain becomes foggy, and exhaustion becomes permanent. Unlike passengers who recover after a few days, flight attendants live in a state of never-ending jet lag. Perfect hair, fake smile. No matter how exhausted they are, flight attendants are expected to look flawless. Uniforms must be neat, hair perfectly styled, and smiles constant. That smile is not always real, it's a mask. It hides the exhaustion, the frustration, and sometimes even the sadness. The airline sells not just flights but an experience, and the flight attendant is part of the product. Behind every fake smile is a person forced to perform perfection, even when they are falling apart inside. Turbulence, creeps, and chaos. The skies may look peaceful, but life inside a plane is far from it. Turbulence makes even simple tasks dangerous, turning drink carts into hazards and aisles into obstacle courses. Passengers can be unpredictable, ranging from drunk and unruly to entitled and rude. Some cross boundaries, harass, or treat attendants like servants. Every flight can turn into a battle of patience, professionalism, and survival. At 35,000 feet, there's no escape, only endurance. Customer service in the sky. The harsh truth is that being a flight attendant is less about flying and more about customer service. Serving drinks, managing complaints, diffusing tempers, and smiling through it all, it's hospitality in the sky. Passengers demand attention, often forgetting they're dealing with human beings. Unlike a restaurant, there's no break, no escape, no stepping outside to breathe. It's non-stop, high-pressure service with hundreds of eyes watching. The airplane becomes a flying office of complaints and requests. Safety first, but forgotten. The irony is that safety, not service, is the true purpose of the job. Flight attendants are highly trained to handle emergencies, evacuations, fires, medical crises, even terrorism. In the event of disaster, their training saves lives. Yet passengers rarely see this. To them, attendants are just the ones bringing snacks and pillows. The weight of responsibility, knowing you might one day have to save hundreds of lives, is immense. But it's overshadowed by constant demands for more coffee. No sleep, no schedule. Consistency is a luxury flight attendants don't have. Workdays start and end at random times, with no predictable rhythm. Sleep is stolen in short naps, in airports, or on uncomfortable hotel beds. The body never fully rests, leaving attendants in a state of chronic fatigue. Over time, this lack of sleep takes a toll on both physical and mental health. It's not just about being tired, it's about living in a constant haze of exhaustion. Missing holidays and milestones. While passengers fly home for the holidays, flight attendants are the ones working. Christmas, New Year's, birthdays, anniversaries, even funerals, these are often missed. Family gathers without them. Friends stop inviting them to events. Relationships strain under constant absence. What seems like an adventurous life is actually a series of sacrifices, where loved ones learn to live without the person who's always in the air. Emotional labor on overdrive. The emotional demands of the job are crushing. Flight attendants can't show anger when insulted, can't show fear during turbulence, and can't show despair when exhausted. They must remain calm, kind, and professional, absorbing passengers' emotions while burying their own. This constant performance drains energy, leaving little left for personal life. Behind the polished exterior, many battle stress, anxiety, and depression, all hidden under the demand to smile. Health at risk. The lifestyle takes a physical toll that most don't realize. Constant exposure to radiation at high altitudes, sleep deprivation, irregular meals, and hours on their feet all add up. Studies show flight attendants face higher risks of fatigue-related illnesses, heart problems, and even certain cancers. Their health is quietly eroded by a career that demands perfection but gives little back. The uniform may look glamorous, but it hides a body running on empty. The strain on relationships. Romantic relationships and friendships are difficult to maintain. When you're always flying, always tired, and rarely home, connections fade. Partners must be incredibly patient, or relationships collapse under the strain. Friendships weaken because you miss too many gatherings, cancel too many plans, and simply aren't around. Loneliness becomes part of the uniform. The constant performance. Being a flight attendant means living a double life. There's the public persona, smiling, calm, polished, professional. And then there's the private reality, exhausted, drained, sometimes broken. The uniform is not just clothing, it's a costume. A costume that demands you play your role no matter how you feel inside. Over time, the gap between who you are and who you have to be becomes harder to manage. Why people stay despite it all? If it's so hard, why do people stay? For some, it's the sense of adventure. For others, it's the camaraderie of the crew, the shared bond of those who endure together. Some love the responsibility of keeping passengers safe, while others cling to the dream of travel, even if the reality doesn't match. The job isn't easy, but for those who stay, it becomes part of their identity. It's survival, not glamour, but survival with moments of pride. Conclusion. So why does it suck being a flight attendant? Because the world sees glamour where there is only sacrifice. Because behind every flawless smile and perfect uniform is someone who is exhausted, homesick, and surviving chaos. Because this isn't adventure, it's customer service in the sky. And because the true price of the job is invisible. No sleep, no schedule, no stability. Next time you see a flight attendant smile, remember, it's not always happiness. Sometimes, it's survival.